Jesus' disciples saw him cast out demons. They saw many miracles. And then they asked him, Lord, teach us how to pray. And they didn't say teach us how to preach or to heal or to cast out demons, but they said teach us how to pray. And I believe they did this because they just realized something that we often forget about today, that everything Jesus did publicly flowed out of what he did privately. His prayer was his lifeline back to the Father. It was his secret place, his power source. And when they asked him to pray, Jesus didn't just give them a formula, he gave them this kingdom blueprint. And so today we're going to talk about Matthew 6, 9 through 13, how Jesus taught them how to pray and how we can use that in our own life today. So, good morning. This is Rod with RA Salt and Silver. Today is July 27th, 2026. It is been a rainy morning here so far in Central Florida. Um, please comment, like, share, and subscribe this video so that more people can see the word of Jesus. Um, so let's take a look here at the scriptures. So Matthew 6, 9 through 13. And in this manner, therefore pray, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. This is not just a prayer for us to memorize. This is this is words and a way to pray that we need to embody. And so let's break down each part of this prayer and how can we use this? So the first part, our Father in heaven. Jesus starts with identity. And it's not a distant God or the judge of the universe. He says Father because prayer begins with our relationship to our Father. And this isn't about our performance or about some, master that is trying to intimidate us, right? We're approaching the throne of the Father who already knows your voice. He even already knows what we're going to ask for or what we're going to say. And so when you pray, don't think of it as trying to get God's attention because we already have that. Um, so the next part is hallowed be your name. So this is about reverence. So before we start asking for things, honor his name. And that will help align your heart. Because when you exalt him, it dethrones you. And we still like to think of ourselves as first person with all this. But when you magnify him in his glory, it makes your problems shrink. And we have to think about this in perspective that God is holy and he's above everything that why you are facing. I mean, God isn't a genie in this case, right? Like he's not just going to give us three wishes. We have to go to him. And then I love this part, the alignment. Your kingdom come, your will be done. This is the heartbeat of our blueprint. Jesus is saying, don't pray your agenda, pray mine. Don't ask me to bless your plan, ask me to reveal my plan, right? This is what we get. We as humans really have a hard time with, right? We don't want things on his time. We want it right now. We want to Uber eat the blessings. We want to Uber eat that solution. Amazon, same day delivery. But prayer isn't bending heaven to earth. It's bending earth to heaven because it's a surrender. It's obedience. And when you pray this way, you stop asking God to follow you and you start following him. And then the next part is give us this day our daily bread. So Jesus wants us to trust daily, not hoard. He's saying don't live off yesterday's manna. Don't rely on your own strength and don't store up what only God can supply because daily bread means daily dependence, daily provision. And prayer reminds you that God is your source, not your bank account, not your job, not your talents, but God. And man, we want to put everything on our own shoulders. We can do everything. I mean, think about my job, right? If I leave my job today, well, they'll just replace me with somebody else. Um, Younger, smarter, there's always going to be a replacement. So, but when I to God, I am a one and only me. Then there's forgiveness. Forgive us as we forgive others. But this is the part we sometimes want to skip. Jesus doesn't let us. You cannot carry bitterness and expect breakthrough. You can't hold grudges and hold glory at the same time. You can't walk in freedom when you're chaining someone else. So forgiveness is not weakness, but it's spiritual warfare. I forgive everybody, but I can't forgive that. When you release others, heaven releases you. And that is an important thing to remember. And then deliver us from the evil one. And this is not about being soft, passive, or quiet prayer. Prayer is warfare. And every time you pray, hell loses ground. And every time you pray, angels get dispatched. And every time you pray, the darkness gets pushed back. And Jesus teaches us to pray with awareness that there is an enemy. He's real, but he's already been defeated. And prayer is how we enforce that. And so imagine a battlefield and there's a soldier, right? He's outnumbered, pinned down. The one thing the enemy doesn't know is he has a radio. And he with one call, he can summon air support. This is like our modern day, right? You can get reinforcements. Power more awesome than what he has alone. And prayer is your connection to heaven's command center. It's our lifeline to King Jesus. And when you pray, you're not whispering into the air. You're communicating with the commander of angels' armies. And finally, Jesus didn't just teach us a prayer to recite. He gave us that blueprint for kingdom life. Prayer is not a ritual, but it's a relationship, a reverence, an alignment, dependence, forgiveness, protection, and warfare. Now, prayer is how heaven invades earth through your voice. So today, don't just pray to God, pray with God, pray through God, and pray from the kingdom within inside of you. Because when you pray the way Jesus taught, hell will tremble, heaven moves, and your life will shift. Amen. This is Rod with RA Salt and Silver, and I'll see you on the next one.